This is my Nikon Z9 Cinema Rig. I'm gonna show you how I built it, all the parts that I used, and a little something extra. Stay tuned. Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Now, ever since I posted my other Z9 review, a lot of you guys have been asking, can we have a CinemaRig breakdown? We want to see what kind of parts that we use and all these different things. So finally putting it together with the help of, hold on. With some help from KondorBlue. I reached out to them saying that, hey, I want to build a rig for my Z9 and I use a lot of the products. So is there a way that we can make a video together? And they said, hell yeah! So here is the video. Thanks you guys for the really awesome stuff. This is fantastic, by the way. This is their microfiber long sleeve shirts, but this is all microfiber. So if you're cleaning your lenses or something, so let's say you have your phone and it's a really ugly dirty screen, you can literally grab it, do that, and clean it off. It's insane because we all lose our microfiber towels, our microfiber cloths. So this t-shirt, long sleeve or short sleeve, is a game changer. However, this video isn't fully sponsored by KondorBlue. However, we do have an affiliate link down below. So if you guys want to take a little bit of money off from your next purchase, it's gonna be on me. If you want to see that, links are down below. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get into this Nikon Z9 Cinema Rig. First things first, you're going to want a handy multi-tool. This small rig multi-tool will fit pretty much every Phillip and flathead driver situation that you'll run into. Let's start off with the small rig base plate. Now on top of that, you'll add this little Manfrotto quick release system to the top of the base plate. I like to have 2 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch screws holding down the plates. This will help prevent the plate from swinging if the screws become loose. Next, we'll add in some 15mm rods connected to the base plate like so. Here we have a mini quick release plate system from KondorBlue with 2 1/4 inch screws. I also removed the rubber stopper on the plate to give me more room to tighten down both screws into the 1/4 inch holes on the base plate. For the battery and mount, I have this nice V-mount plate holder attached to this 15mm clamp. The battery of choice for me is this Kine TV Mini V-mount battery. It's small, powerful, and has 2 D-tap jacks along with a USB port on the top. It has the same power as bigger batteries, but it's cheaper and more compact. For the camera, we have our trusty Nikon Z9 with a small rig cage. To that, I'm going to mount my 24-70 f2.8 lens with the FTZ Mark II adapter. Now let's add the base plate to the cage with 2 screws and then sliding that sucker onto our main rig. Alright guys, I know from the future here, there's a couple of changes that I made to the rig right after I made the video, so I want to show it here. So the biggest thing that I added was a second base plate, mainly because the first base plate where the quick release plate was, it was too far back and the camera was too front heavy. So I was putting it on rigs, it just wasn't making any sense. So I added a second base plate, basically put the quick release plate in between both of them so I can fit it forward just a little bit more. Also, I took off the quick release plate for the camera itself away from the core rig that I have over here, mainly because I'm not taking the camera off to take stills pictures, so I'm kind of keeping it all together. But that also means that I can have my lens support right at the front as well. And the last thing I added was this C-box thing over here. I had one laying around. It isn't like the most functional thing, but I guess it works for the situation and it makes the camera look way beefier. Other than that, video pretty much stays the same. Yeah, back to the video. To hold our monitor and give us a place to hold the rig, we're going to add this top handle from CinemaRig. You can add a NATO rail to this instead, but I found that this method gives a much more secure feeling to the rig. I also like to add in small little screws onto the handle just in case we need an extra 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch screw. Because there's so many holes in this guy already, I like to keep them all in here. It comes in clutch, I promise. So that's another small thing to think about. You don't have to do it, I personally do it, and it's definitely paid off in the long run. Next, let's add this small cold shoe adapter to the front of the handle, along with this custom tilting quick release plate that I made. I just put together this monitor mount from CinemaRig and a KondorBlue quick release plate together. What I like about this mini quick release plate system is that it's so small and it can still hold up to 15 pounds worth of gear. So it's safe to say that my expensive gear isn't going anywhere. Add the cold shoe mount to the quick release mount and tighten it down nicely. You'll also want to add this cold shoe adapter to the side of your camera rig. This will help with mounting an on-camera shotgun microphone for your scratch audio. For my monitor, I'm adding the Atomos Ninja 5 with an Andy Cine cage, along with 2 KondorBlue quick release plates on the top and the bottom of it. You're probably asking yourself, why do I need 2? Don't you just need the one to attach to the handle and the quick release system? Well, yes and no. You'll see later in the video why I did that. Go ahead and attach your monitor to the quick release system and add your shotgun microphone of choice to the side of the rig. As far as matte boxes, I'm still sticking with my Tilta Mini matte box with this 77mm adapter to my lens. Now, if you want to add an ND filter, you'll need to add this little step-up ring. If you don't, then the ND won't be able to adjust while in the matte box. Now add this matte box ring to the lens, then the ND filter, and finally the matte box itself. As you can see, I can adjust the ND filter as needed while the matte box is still on. And the very last thing to do for this rig is to power the Atomos and give it some HDMI power. I ended up using these 2 braided cables from KondorBlue as they work fantastic and are the perfect length for me. Alright, and that's it for the handheld rig. It's insane, it is beefy, it's pretty damn heavy, but it just looks so badass. It looks so good. I took forever to try and configure this in the way that I wanted to. There are some things that you could add to this that I don't have on this rig. I don't have a follow focusing system here, mainly because the autofocus on this guy is already really good. So I usually don't need to manual focus, and if I do, I can just hold it right here for a little bit and it's totally fine. And then the only other thing that I would add to this would be a wireless transmitter. I personally don't have one. It is useful though. I have used stuff from Hollyland in the past, and that's the only extra thing I would add to this rig. Other than that, man, it's beefy. It is so incredibly nice. Now with that camera out of the way, let's focus on this shoulder rig. Here are all the parts you'll need for this rig. So let's break it down piece by piece and show you how it works. I MacGyvered this 15mm monitor mount with a KondorBlue quick release plate. Attach this 15mm through hole to the 15mm clamp. Then clamp down the monitor mount to a smaller 15mm rod. Connect that to the clamp like so. Alright, for the base plate of this shoulder rig, I'm using the ones from KondorBlue. I add these 18-inch 15mm carbon fiber rods. Next, I'll add the airy rosette brackets to the front of the rods, then add your extension arms with some nice handles. I also added an extra V-mount battery plate to the bottom of the shoulder pad. This not only gives me more weight to balance the rig, but my first AC can help me swap batteries out without trying to find it somewhere else on set. A rule of thumb with shoulder rigs is that you want your crease of your arm right here to be at a 90-degree angle majority of the time. You don't want it to be too squished over here, and you don't want it to be too far. If it's too far, you're gonna get fatigued way faster because your arms are just trying to hold the entire rig and letting it rest on your shoulder. And if it's too close, your arms are just gonna feel so cramped, and it also will get tired very quickly. The most efficient way that I found it is holding it at, again, 90 degrees, adjusting these handles like so, pivoting it around to get it nice and comfy for your particular setup. And all that's left to do is add your monitor rod to the shoulder rig, add a battery, and mount the camera rig. The best part of this rig is the quick release base plate. It acts just like a Sackler quick release. Drop it in, tighten, and you're good to go. And taking it out is just as simple. It's definitely my favorite part of the rig. Alright, now let's say that you have your rig set up and it's ready to go, but you don't have a way to see the monitor. It's like, I can't see anything. I can't keep looking at this little screen over here. Remember that thing I told you on top of the monitor, the little quick release plate? Now is when we're gonna use it. All you have to do is simply take off the monitor, add it upside down on the shoulder rig's quick release plate, adjusting the monitor to your liking. Then just take the battery eliminator and plug it into the monitor. Simple as that. and then bam, it's ready to go. And what I like about this is that your camera is also at your same eye level, so the camera is seeing exactly what you're seeing. This bar is nice and stable, so it's not gonna be bending around all over the place. And I still have enough space right here where I can still look at my talent, I can still see stuff while also still looking at my monitor, which is really nice. All right, but other than that, you guys, this is my camera rig setup along with my shoulder rig that I personally use for my Nikon Z9. I absolutely love it. I love the way that's going, and it's only going to be improved with more and more projects. Now, I do want to remind you guys that I didn't get all this gear within the same day. It took me quite a bit of time to gather everything and get it all together. A lot of trial and error, and I mean a lot of trial and error. So don't feel like you need to buy everything all at once to get everything that I did. Get stuff that works for you, and you only learn from doing gigs and gigs and more gigs. This is an accumulation of about maybe 4 or 5 years of working with more high-grade cinema stuff. Although I didn't have the Z9 for over 5 years, I did have the Z6. I've used a lot of Sony cameras, Canon cameras over the years, Blackmagic cameras, to kind of figure out what I want personally. This is just a really great starting point for anyone looking to upgrade their camera to a more cinematic style and filming those cinematic needs when you're on a set. If you guys want to know any of my inspirations for this camera rig, I'll leave them in the comments below so you can check them out for yourself. I also have another really cool surprise for you guys with this rig. I'm going to be using it with an iʻve. Not necessarily from iʻve themselves, but from Pro Aim. We had a couple really cool shoots happening within the next couple of weeks, so I cannot wait to get that to you guys and show you guys. It is so incredibly cool. You have no idea. Right, and that's it for the video. Talk to you guys soon.